All right, guys, we're going to do some more examples with multiplication and exponents. So if we remember, if I am multiplying bases that are the same, then the shortcut is that I can add their exponents. And then if I have parentheses, I'm going to distribute to all the exponents in there. And when I distribute, I multiply. So those are the two big things we want to keep in mind. Now on this page here on 84, I put a whole bunch of examples. So what I would suggest doing is maybe pausing the video here and writing down these 3 examples and then come back and I'll show you how to do them. Okay, so since these bases here are all the same, they're all -6, that means I can write the base once and then add up all the exponents. So I'm adding 12 plus 5, which is 17, and then plus a -7, which makes it overall 10. Now, -6 to the 10 power is real big, so I'm not going to do that in my head. I will just do that on my calculator. So, and actually our calculator is super nice that you don't have to sit there and do -6 times -6 times -6 times -6 for 10 times because I might lose track. But if you are using an iPhone, and I'm pretty sure there's a button for this too on Android. I wish I had an Android phone too. But if you're confused about how to use your Android, let me know. But if I type in -6, and then I want to raise it to a power, I have a couple of choices. So here it will allow me to raise it to the 2nd power, the 3rd power, and then here any power I want. So if I hit that button, then I'll type in 10 because that's the power that I want. And then I hit equals, and it's a real big number. And it's positive, which makes sense too, because if I have an even amount, 10 is an even number, of negative numbers, overall I should be positive. So this simplifies to 60,466,176. Holy smokes. Alrighty, on to the next one. So because all the bases are 5, I can write the base once and then add up all the exponents. So -2 and -4 is -6 plus 8 is 2. And 5 squared is super easy. That's just 25. We don't need to use our calculator for that. Okay, trying some slightly different types of problems that are having you do the same skill. Find the area of a rectangle. Well, hopefully we remember that the area of a rectangle is base times height. Okay, so here I have my base and my height, and we're just going to multiply them up. So we have 4x squared y to the 3rd times 3x y to the 5th. Now, as far as my numbers go, these bases are not the same, so I can't add their exponents. I'm just going to multiply the numbers. So 4 times 3 is 12. But as I go along, these x bases are the same, so I can add their exponents, and this one has an exponent of 2, and this has an exponent of 1, so 3. And then y, I have 2 bases of y. One is to the 3rd, one is to the 5th, so I add those up for 8. And there you go. Okay, I have 2 more quick ones. So if, again, you want to maybe copy those down, like pause the video, copy those down, then come back, I will solve them with you. Get a little drink. All right. Find the area of a triangle. So again, we have to remember how to find the area of a triangle, which I think you guys know this formula is half base times height. So looking at this one here, I would do half times 11r to the 5th, the base, times the height. And as I look through at my numbers, I have half times 11 times 20. All the bases are different. So I'm just going to multiply those numbers up. I hit the camera, I'm so sorry. Now, half of 11 is not very fun. So I'm really going to do half times 20, which is 10. and then multiply the 11. So 10 times 11 is 110. But then the r bases are the same, and so we can add up their exponents for 7. And then the last one I have is find the area of a circle. So the area formula of a circle, which might be a harder one to remember because circle always uses pi, and there's kind of 2 pi formulas, but area is always like inches squared or feet squared or units squared. So the area formula for a circle is pi r squared, where r stands for radius and pi is just pi. So in this picture here, they're showing me the radius. So we'll have pi times the radius, 2x to the third, squared, which is another good one to do because then we have to remember, okay, if I have an exponent on the outside of parentheses, I should distribute that in to all the exponents, which is not just 3. 2 also has an exponent of 1. Now it doesn't get distributed to the pi because the pi is not being squared. It's only the r that's being squared, but r in this case is kind of 2 numbers. So we'll have pi times 2 to the second, because 1 times 2, and x to the sixth. And then the 2 squared I can do, that's 4. So we'll have 4, and then pi, and then x to the sixth. It's kind of mathematically appropriate. Like, it doesn't really matter what order you write the numbers in if they're all being multiplied, but it's kind of mathematically appropriate to put a number before pi and then exponent numbers at the end, just so that we don't confuse the exponent if possible. Alrighty, short and quick to the point.